Hey guys, I'm Darth Trader. Welcome to my G1 Transformers Universe channel where I discuss and review all things related to the G1 Transformers toys and collectibles universe. And today have I got a surprise for you. Today we're going to talk about this guy. Now, you may be saying to yourself, this isn't a G1 Transformers toy, and I would say you are correct. It is not. But this guy is awesome, and he is the reason I chose my username to be Darth Trader many years ago, because he is an awesome villain. Now, to be honest, I'm not a big fan of the Star Wars universe or the franchise, but I absolutely love Darth Vader. I tend to enjoy the villains versus the good guys because they're just, frankly, a deeper, richer character backstory in most cases. They just have a richness to their character that only being a horrible monster can create, I suppose. So, this guy is absolutely amazing. He's about the size of Primus and Unicron, and he does come with 5 complete phrases. And he lights up. So he was released in 2007, so he's been around a couple years, but he is absolutely awesome to look at. You can see the box art is awesome. He comes with little mini TIE fighters, little mini characters, even a little mini me. So let's get this guy out of the box and see what the Dark Lord has for us today. Okay guys, he is almost out of the box, but I wanted to pause and take a second here and just show you the awesomeness of the interior packaging of this toy. You can see he has a little diorama set up here. You can see the 3 TIE fighters that come with him are in these extended pieces of plastic right here. The 3 stormtroopers here with the mini Darth Vader, and even this little picture representing the actual size that he's going to be when we get him transformed into the Death Star. But I just thought this was a pretty cool little diorama. You can even see the walls of the Death Star back here inside the diorama. Pretty cool packaging. I especially love how they put the TIE fighters in orbit around the Death Star. That's awesome. So I wanted to pause the video and show you this before I got him fully out of the box, because you never know if you're going to get him back to look exactly as cool as he does now. So I will be back in a minute when we get this guy fully out so that you can see him in all his glory. Hey guys, here he is, the Dark Lord Darth Vader himself, recently liberated from the Rebels' plastic prison and ready to take over the galaxy. Hopefully a galaxy that's far away, because this guy is impressive, and if you see him coming down an alley in the middle of the night in a galaxy near or far away, you had best avoid him and run away. They spared no detail from head to toe. The sculpting, the joints are all tight. In fact, some of them are so tight they're hard to move. Just the little tiny details they put into it like this are amazing. I'm not going to put them in there right now because we're going to be zooming in and taking a closer look at them here shortly. But these guys will store inside here. He has 2 compartments in his legs, these 2, and then 2 up here. Very awesome idea that they had. Again, with this figure, like I said, very little details have been spared. So let's get these guys out of the way for right now and take a look at this guy just as he is. We'll move him a little bit closer, but we're going to eventually zoom in because there's some details I want to show you that he's just too big to show from this distance. But he does say 5 distinct phrases.
I find your lack of faith disturbing. Join me on the dark side. The rebels must not escape.
And as you can see, when the phrases go off, he actually lights up green in the center there. And I'm sure you can imagine what that becomes in his Death Star mode, which we will see here shortly. His lightsaber also lights up and makes lightsaber noises. Now, you probably won't be able to see it very well with the lighting I have here for the video, but there's a little red LED light in there that comes up through his sword, and it turns it sort of a red pinkish, but it does make the lightsaber sounds as well. So there we have that, and you can see the pieces of the Death Star become his armor and shielding. I mean, this guy is just a solid figure. He stands solidly. Like I said, the joints are so tight you can barely move some of them. And of course, he does have a cape that comes with him. What Dark Lord can fight treachery in the galaxy without a cape? Makes you look like a tough guy, I guess. So there we have that. I'll zoom in here a little bit closer so you can see his face. Okay, guys, one last thing to show you in his robot mode, and that is his blaster. It does feature a firing projectile, which does shoot at some force when you push the lever. So I'm going to catch it so that it doesn't fly across my studio and break. You just simply push this lever forward, and it fires out. And I am being told by my producer that the Dark Lord has been called away on urgent Empire business at the planet Alderaan, and I'm told that we have to hurry up and get through this, and he needs to be out of here ASAP. So let's get him transformed into the Death Star so he can go take care of the dark side's business. Okay, and here he is in the Death Star mode, and this is again very impressive. It's a solid figure. You pick it up, it's not going to come apart. You move it around. I'm not going to show you the transformation because although it's nice and solid now, when you're putting it together, it's not a hard transformation, but it's frustrating because these little plates, you might get this one in and then this one pops out, and then you get them both in and this one pops out, etc., etc. All these little moving puzzle parts here can be kind of frustrating to get into place, but once they are correctly in place, they are solidly together. And it does have two other sounds that weren't present in the robot mode, which you will access from this button back here, and I will spin it around and show it to you. Again, I don't know if you'll be able to see the lights because of the studio lights, but you will be able to hear the sounds. And the Alderaan situation has been neutralized. Don't you just love the fact that they added Darth Vader's breathing at the end? That's just kind of an extra little knife in Alderaan's back. And then it does do one other.
You may fire when ready.
But that's not all. This guy still holds some more surprises. If you come up on the top here and you open these two little latches here, his missile will fire by pressing the Darth Vader head inside. And it will fire. So we'll put it back in there and try it again. I think the head was a little off center in there, so it didn't fire immediately. Let's try it again. There we go. Okay, so we'll put that back in here and batten down the hatches. Okay, and he's still not done with surprises. If you come and turn him around to the back again, you're going to find these two little compartments open up right here for additional storage. The instructions suggest storing the cape in there and your TIE fighters, or possibly the stormtroopers and mini Darth Vader if you have not already stored them in the robot mode. Now, I would suggest either storing these inside the robot mode or displaying them with the figure, as opposed to trying to shove everything in here, because as hard as I tried without wanting to break anything, the most I could get in there was 2 TIE fighters, and that took a little bit of doing, so I'm not going to risk breaking them by storing them in there. And I'll also find a better place to store his cape so it doesn't get wrinkled and damaged, so it stays nice looking for when he's in robot mode. But anyway, guys, that is it for this week's episode. And if you guys don't already have him in your collection, I highly suggest grabbing it because it is awesome. And again, it's the Death Star and Darth Vader. How can you really go wrong? Thanks again for watching, and if you did like what you see, please hit like below and subscribe to my channel, and that way you'll be one of the first to know when something new is coming your way. Thanks again, and you guys have a great day.